I'd like to convene the meeting of the City Council for October 21st. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the roll.
Belzak.
Here.
Gustafson.
Here.
Kenny.
Here.
Legansky.
Here.
Shower.
Here.
Stompanato.
Here.
Sullivan.
Here.
7 present.
We have a quorum. It takes us to questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. This was put on our agenda a number of years ago to give people an opportunity to address the council on something that is not necessarily on the agenda for the evening. Does anybody from the audience have anything they'd like to present to the council tonight? If not, I will move on to approval of minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the October 7th, 2024 minutes. Alderman Stompanato, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Stompanato.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
7 ayes.
The minutes have been approved. It takes us to receiving of communications. Do any of the alder people have communications they'd like to share with the council? Okay. It takes us to the mayor's report. We're at that time of year where some of our part-time committees start gearing up for their work. One is the Citizen of the Year Committee, which goes to the event. The other one is our Holiday Home Decorating Committee, which will be over in early December after we select homes. So the first thing I'd like to do is ask for your consideration of a motion to approve the reappointment of members to the Citizen of the Year Committee: Linda Borowiak, Lana Johnson, Tracy Thompson Johnson, Bonnie Casera, and Carol Mailers. Do I have a motion to approve? Mary Sullivan, seconded by Tom Belzak. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
7 ayes.
The motion has been approved. Would you please come forward?
Good evening, ladies. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Carol Mailers,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
Citizen of the Year Committee
Citizen of the Year Committee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. And I will have Carol.
Thank you.
And
Lana. Yep,
okay.
thank you.
Oops, wrong one, sorry.
Okay, thanks.
And you're Linda. Thank you.
Bonnie, you want to say a few words?
Do you want me to?
Yes. By the way, Mary will be the liaison with the
Yes.
committee. She's grown accustomed to that task.
Thank you again for your support on this committee. We're very pleased to serve you again this year in our capacity. Our event will be on Friday, February 28th this year. We did it a little earlier this year. We're avoiding Lent. We're avoiding the Lion's Pancake Breakfast. We're avoiding the Saving Light daytime change. So I think it'll work out well. The dinner, I've been able to negotiate the $52 a year dinner again, the same menu that we've had. The applications, which is most important, will open up online starting on November 1st and will close on Monday, January 6th. The committee will then meet and make selections. Hopefully we'll get a brunt of applications. You can fill them out online, or you can copy or print out the application and then type it in. The more detail, I can't emphasize, the more detail we have about your nominee, the better off the committee is in order to choose them. Again, the length of service, the diversity of their activities is most important, and we get sometimes nominations that just say, boy, they do a good job at the Lions Club, or they do a good job on the Women's Club. That doesn't help us, and we're not allowed to pick a person on what we know about that person personally. We've got to go what's on that application. So that's the tricky part of it. So again, I urge everybody, as you know people, please encourage your friends or club members to consider nominations for this.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Anything else? No, we're good? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to item B. Consideration motion to approve the reappointment of members to the Holiday Home Decorating Committee. Elizabeth Hayes, Melody Jankowski are here. Our other two members are not here, but I'm asking for your approval of their appointment. Alderman Legansky, seconded by Alderman Shower. Any questions or comments? And the roll.
Legansky.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
7 ayes.
They've been approved. Ladies, we want to come forward and take your oath.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Melody Jankowski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
Holiday Home Decorating Committee
Holiday Home Decorating Committee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Mr. Melody, you want to say anything?
I'll just kind of run through the timeline if that's okay. The awards will go out, or the awards will be given, the last city council meeting in December is December 16th, before Christmas. So that's when we'll be giving out the awards. So nominations are going to have to be in the early part of December, like December 2nd or December 3rd. So we have time to go out and view the lights that week and get the winners into City Hall so that she can do her work there too by December 9th. And in past years, we've done, I think, five winners in the money bracket, and we usually have easily five honorable mentions. And then we also always look for anybody who's listening or is aware of their neighbors. If you've got people who want to band together as a group, it really makes it nice if a block gets together and manages to get, I think it's 5 people in a row to do something. It makes a big splash when you drive down the street. So I'm looking forward to it. And we've seen a lot of great displays in previous years, and I think we will this year too.
How do people nominate someone then? What's the process?
The nomination is you just have to call City Hall and just say, either I have a wonderful display, or my neighbor, John Doe, has a wonderful display. Please, here's his address, please put it on there. The tricky part is getting them to do those nominations early enough so that they're, so that we can view them. Sometimes if I get out in the evening and drive around, I'll go around looking and see if there's something that stands out. I'll call it in myself, or some of the other committee members will. So if you see anything in your neighborhoods or anything like that, don't hesitate to call them. It's just a matter of name and an address.
Okay.
In fact, we don't even need the name. If we have an address, we'll get the name.
Okay.
But it needs to be done by them, not by a service, correct? Doesn't it have to be like the individual family, like they can't hire a service to do their lights, correct?
Exactly. We
Amateur hour, right? It needs to be,
Yeah, in the interest of competitiveness and the spirit of the whole thing, it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be done non-professionally.
How do you know it's amateur versus somebody paying to get it done?
You know what? You can tell. You can tell. There's certain things that professionals do because they have the equipment to be able to do it. And so you'll see, a really perfectly straight string of lights without nary a bulb out or anything like that, which is just perfect. But you can kind of tell, and then when you go
think I have
talk,
sloppy work, is that what I'm hearing?
if you go and talk to,
good
if
to
you
do
go and talk
shabby
to
work.
the people, they'll tell, and you kind of quiz them, they'll tell you if they had something to do. Yeah, it's supposed to be a family event, so looking forward to it.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, while I have an opportunity, Liz, you could have a chair. Melody's husband, Jimmy Jankowski, Jim has been down in Asheville, where the tornado or the hurricane had a devastating impact. Jim's a chef by profession, and Jim has been cooking and making 10 to 12,000 meals a day.
Wow.
For the people down in Asheville. I saw him this last week and he came in. He's going back tomorrow, from what I understand. And think about that, 10 to 12,000 meals a day for the people down there. And he said, they still don't have clean drinking water or anything like that. And he's down there helping these people out. So
To make some burgers.
I just wanted to bring attention to that. I know his wife's here tonight, but I wanted to give that recognition to Jim since I think he's doing such a service. And he's really selling our name as a city. So thank you, Melody. Tell Jimmy we said that.
So it's a good one for Susan a year.
Yeah.
Wow, 10,000 a day.
Wow. I have another item on my mayor's report. We have a young woman who I've known now for the past 3 years, maybe 3 to 4 years, and she's an outstanding contributor to our community by virtue of the fact that she represents our community so well. And she called me or sent me an email and wanted to be able to address us tonight. Paige was Miss Northern Suburbs a couple of years ago. This last year she represented us as Miss Darien. And I think your tenure is coming to an end, correct? So you want to come forward?
Well, thank you, Mayor, for the wonderful introduction. 4 years ago, I began competing in the Miss America opportunity to obtain scholarships to further my education. Since this journey began, I've graduated with my political science degree completely debt-free and have obtained additional scholarships that I can use in the future. The Miss America organization is more than a beauty pageant. It propels young women to use their voices, do good in their community, and yes, wear a crown while doing it all. When the Miss Illinois organization granted me this title to represent my hometown for 1 year and to compete at the Miss Illinois competition this past June, I was filled with immense joy and pride. My goal for this year was to show what makes our community and the small town feel it possesses. So many in our community want to make the world a better place, and I saw this as my opportunity to do the same. While I wear this crown and the Miss Darien sash for the final time this Saturday, my heart is full from the support I've received not only this past year, but throughout my life as a Darien resident, 25 years to be exact. I believe that a smile and a thank you goes a long way. So thank you to every Darien community member that has been a part of this journey. Whether you're a member of an organization, an elected official, a police officer, a teacher, a friend, a student, you've all contributed to making our city a better place. I know that a pageant girl was not the norm for our community, but it was a pleasure speaking to so many of you and promoting not only the benefits of pageantry, but the value of volunteering. I'm proud to call Darien home, and I'm proud to continue helping in our community for years to come. Again, I don't think thank you will ever be enough, but thank you, Darien, for the opportunity to represent you. It's truly been an honor. Signing off for the last time, Miss Darien 2024, Paige Hollendonner.
Paige, I think we need a picture, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I have more pictures of Paige in my office than I do my grandchildren.
We're dressed up this time.
Let me get you guys up here. I'm right behind you, up that way.
Okay, up there.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Paige, what are all the pins on your sash?
So I've got, I went to a 50th anniversary ceremony last year on Veterans Day, my Darien pin. I was at an event in Burr Ridge and a little boy came up to me and gave me this, that's been on there. My advocacy work goes to Special Olympics, so I'm a part of their Young Professionals Board, so that's what that one's for. And then I met one of my best friends through the organization, so this is a half of a best friend heart.
Nice.
So yeah, I like to keep them all very close to me. And Darien close to my heart.
And behind every good Miss Darien, there's a great pageant mother, so thank you, Tammy.
Amy, I got to see your smile from the beginning to end on this. It never ended. It was up here. Really great to see.
I have one last item that I was asked to speak on tonight. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had several incidents that I've had reported to me by email or through the police department, which speak to the issue of civility, how people treat one another. We had an incident, I believe Michael's aware of it, where something took place at the Indian Prairie Library, which was not very nice, but which really spoke to the inability of one group to deal with another group. I received an email from a gentleman who had a trespasser on his property who left a note that denigrated this individual's father, and I think they filed a police report on that. And I had another incident where somebody reported that on 69th and Richmond, somebody wrote in the concrete some very negative comments about a particular race. Very disturbing. And while those are only 3 incidents, to me it appears that we need to remind people that there's something called civility. And I'm going to read something tonight because I think this epitomizes where Darien is. In Darien, we strive to promote a culture of civility and caring in all aspects of our community life and beyond. In Darien, we recognize without judgment the inherent dignity and worth of each person, group, family, and organization. In Darien, we believe that all interpersonal exchanges, even adversarial ones, can be conducted with mutual respect. And in Darien, we aspire to be part of a community that is rooted in acceptance, inclusion, and compassion. And I like the residents of Darien to hear that and understand that that's how I see Darien, and I think that's how a lot of you see Darien as well. And it's sad when events like this take place, and it's my hope those are just 3 incidents that we'll become familiar with and that we will not have any other incidents. But we do have an election coming up, and there's a lot of nasty stuff out there because of that election. And my hope is that people who disagree politically will see that they can still maintain friendships and disagree. So that's my mayor's report tonight. Oh, I will mention one other thing. We have a tree lighting ceremony coming up, and on our card that we sent out, the date is wrong. The date says December 8th. The date is actually November 17th. So I'd like to remind everybody that the tree lighting ceremony, and we're going to have a new tree on that corner this year, correct, Jan?
That is correct.
It's about an 18 or 20 foot pre-lit tree. We're going to have hot chocolate with the Women's Club. We're going to have cookies. We're going to have Eisenhower and Lakeview Junior High choirs singing. Last year we had Lakeview. Lakeview did not know the words to Christmas Time in Darien. So the Eisenhower kids this year are teaching them how to sing that song. So they will know the song this year. Last year, Kathy Weaver and I had to sing it, and we got cut off about halfway through the song. So it's going to be a fun event. Santa Claus will arrive on a Darien Woodridge fire truck. We will have Mr. Claus and Mrs. Claus there for pictures with the kids, and of course the Historical Society will be open for people's viewing. November 17th, 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and the tree lighting will actually take place at 4 o'clock.
Mayor, I'd like to piggyback on your comments about the civility. I attended at Mount Carmel Church yesterday. They had a presentation regarding mental illness, mental health awareness, and I believe that a lot of civility can contribute to the mental health of our citizens. So that in itself, would love to be able to see people act a little better, because they're causing a lot of pain and suffering to families that don't deserve it.
I agree. Okay, moving on. That's the mayor's report. It takes us to the city clerk report, and she's got an important task tonight.
Right, we have the 2025 vehicle sticker lottery. First, I'd like to give some history. In 1992, the City Council decided to offer the Darien Identification Vehicle Sticker to Darien community organizations through the lottery process. The following organizations were offered the opportunity to participate in the 2025 Vehicle Sticker Lottery: Cass District Number 63, Resources for Enrichment, CARES, Darien Arts Council, Darien Chamber of Commerce, Darien District 61 Educational Foundation, Darien Historical Society, Darien Lions Club, Darien Women's Club, Darien Youth Club, Gardens Club, Hinsdale South High School Athletics Club, Hinsdale South High School Booster Club, Hinsdale South High School Foundation, Safety Village of Darien, the Active Seniors Club, VFW Darien Memorial Post 2838, Young at Heart Seniors, Younger Than Ever Seniors. There are 3 provisions that must be followed. The funds from the vehicle sticker donations must be used for community-related functions. The winner is 1 year. The winner in 1 year will not be eligible for the lottery for a 2-year period after winning. The city reserves the right to withdraw this lottery due to budget constraints at any time. The successful lottery winner will be responsible for purchasing identification stickers, mayor and city clerk to approve the design, and offering the same to residents on a donation basis to be available by January 1st, 2025. The eligible Darien community organization that expressed an interest in selling the vehicle sticker, and there was only one, is the Darien Arts Council. The lottery to determine who will be allowed to sell the vehicle sticker for 2025 has been included on the agenda under the city clerk's report for this evening's meeting. So the Darien Arts Council is the winner.
Congratulations to the Darien Arts Council. We look forward to, they should have a real interesting design.
I would think so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Joanne. City Administrator's report, Brian.
No report, Mayor.
All right, department head information and questions. We have tonight with us Sergeant Michael Lorick of our Darien Police Department, and Mike, you're going to present our report for September 2024.
Mr. Mayor, Mike Lorick with the Police Department. I am our Detective Sergeant, serve on our Detective Division. Chief Thomas and Deputy Chief Norton are currently out of town on a training conference, so they've asked me to come and present this information to you guys. In the monthly report, you'll see that the Chief touched on 2 topics, one being domestic violence, one being cybersecurity, and both topics are awareness topics for the month of October. So I'll just briefly touch on domestic violence. It is a nationwide problem where we see certain instances of it across the country, and it's publicized through, we see some of the TV shows that are on Netflix, some of the stuff that's being brought up with domestic violence, and some of the tragic events that happen across the country. We are certainly not immune to domestic violence here in Darien. We have we deal with it as the officers with several calls a week, usually, with domestic violence. And it is difficult to tackle because it's an internal problem. It happens inside the house. It's quiet. It's usually not publicized. When my officers go to handle a call or handle a situation, usually they go inside the house. They deal inside the house. It's not, the neighbors aren't seeing it. The community's not seeing it. So it's quiet. It's kept quiet. It's usually handled that way. What I can say is that it is preventable. There's great resources across the county that we can use to prevent it. What we ask as a department is if something's going on, see something, say something. If you see neighbors fighting, or if you see family members having issues, it doesn't have to be, the term violence sounds like they're fighting it and getting physical with each other, but there's all sorts of domestic violence. There's intimidation, there's financial violence and financial intimidation, and then the actual physical violence itself. So we ask that if something's going on, you see something, say something, and allow us to step in and give the support that we have with the programs within the county that we can give them to help them out through certain things. So there's all sorts of great stuff that the county has to offer, all sorts of great stuff that my officers have to offer to help out through issues. The other topic he asked me to talk about was cybersecurity, and we've partnered with the library to do certain topics, and we do some speeches over at the library once a month where we'll pick a certain topic and give a presentation on that topic. In September, we gave a presentation on active assailants, where one of my officers went in and spoke about active shooter events, active assailant events, and active threat events. And for October, they asked us to go in and give a presentation on cybersecurity. So we talked about some issues with cybersecurity, some prevention, some protections that people can use to avoid being victims of cyber fraud and cyber theft. One thing I can say is, being our detective sergeant, I see many cases come across my desk where there's an increase in this, and it's becoming ever more so alarming with the amount of stuff that's going on nowadays. We have victims at all sorts of stuff, from Social Security fraud to IRS fraud, credit card fraud, bank fraud. What I can suggest to the public and to our community is, if anybody calls asking for information, to be skeptical always if somebody calls up and asks for certain information. If they're asking for a phone number, a Social Security number, a date of birth, anything like that, I tell our residents to trust but verify. Find out who the person is, ask for a callback number, and then call their bank or call their financial institution to get the information to make sure what they're being asked is in fact true. Because too often what happens is what we're seeing is our residents get a phone call, they get put back on their heels, they start getting worried about stuff, and they start giving information out that they shouldn't be. And then at some point it gets to be too much. And some stuff that is actually happening across the country, we haven't seen it happen here, is now with the AI boom, they're able to clone voices from family members and come in with their family members' voices and talk to the person with that family member's voice and make it sound like that's their son, their grandson, their daughter, asking for all sorts of information. It's causing problems across the country, and it'll sooner or later it'll happen here. So we just suggest always be skeptical of what's going on, trust but verify, and if anything, call the police department for help. We're here to talk people through stuff, to help them investigate stuff and look into things. We'd rather be called and ask us to look into it first and try to help them out. So as far as the report goes with our statistics, I don't have, if you guys have any questions about the crime and property report that was put out, I can try to answer what I can for you. If I don't have an answer for you, I will get an answer for you and get back to you.
Mike, regarding the cybersecurity, the cybercrime, I've read somewhere that it's not just with senior citizens anymore, it's spreading throughout the population. People
It is.
of all ages are being pulled in by this.
We see it, I mean, all different ages it happens to. Unfortunately, we do see a lot of the seniors get victimized by it. But a lot of times if anybody's calling up asking for, banks should not be calling asking for information for you over the phone, as far as account numbers, routing numbers, and that kind of stuff. At no time should somebody be being called to ask to go purchase a credit or a gift card and give the information on the gift card over the phone to the person.
We just had it.
That happening.
Just had it today where one of my mentees called me up and said, hey, so-and-so who's just moved down to Arizona and says, give me for gift cards. And I said, no, that wasn't her. Yeah, let it go. So, and it's, like you said, a lot of the AI stuff comes in, they're approaching it this is somebody hey, give me the gift cards, and it's not.
A lot of information on where you live, acquaintances, family members, and all this information they can throw out to you through AI that they get. and they're able to put our victims back on their heels and get worried about stuff, and they give up stuff they shouldn't be.
And even like with social media, when you talk about like, yes, I mean, my poor dad tells everybody no when they call the house phone, which I'd rather that than him start giving out information. But with younger people, someone in my family fell victim to a scam on Facebook Marketplace where they were buying some equipment, and the person who was, supposedly selling it, air quotes, said, well, if we take the transaction off Facebook Marketplace and do it between us, I'll give you a better deal. Well, thousands of dollars later, there was no equipment ever received because it was all a scam. And thankfully, the Darien Police Department were very kind in doing a report and doing as much investigating as they could. But the reality is, in the end, and you're not going to get any help from Instagram or Facebook because there's like nowhere there. There's no help desk. There's no 1-800 number to call. So you just have to be, really, really skeptical. But years ago, I was in line to make a return at Walmart, and there was an older gentleman in front of me, and God bless the lady that was working at the counter, the service clerk, because he was going to send some money Western Union, and she started questioning him. And, I really gave her credit for stepping outside, to check with him. And, in the end, she convinced him to make a couple calls before he sent the money, and it ended up being all fraud. So, so just be careful, too, with social media. And it's younger people, not just older people.
Many times the banks are stepping in and stopping this before it happens. The tellers are.
Once somebody goes on Zelle or Venmo, it's gone.
Michael, you mentioned, I think if I heard you correctly, you mentioned AI and how it could sound like a family member even. But what would that be? Would that be like a message somebody left on your phone? Because if I'm having a discussion with a family member and it's even an AI imitating the voice, I would be able to tell from the conversation maybe that it's not a relative, but maybe I missed something, how that even works.
From my understanding is a scammer will call up a family member and get that person to talk on the phone and give certain answers to certain questions. And they will be able to then develop, based on those answers with the AI program, a language based on that person, make it sound just like your son is talking on the phone based on those answers, and then they can clone that. So what we said in the presentation is have a keyword developed that you can use so that the AI scammers wouldn't know. So if you're skeptical of it and it seems strange, ask what I had for dinner last night, or what did you have for dinner last night, or what's the nickname of our dog, something to try to prove this. And again, we haven't seen this happen here in Darien, but it has happened around the country. So.
There are situations where I've heard where somebody will call an elderly person saying, "Hey, Grandma, I'm in jail. I need bail money," and the AI.
It's happened to my dad.
Right.
Yeah. No one in jail though.
And through social media, they can find out who a person's grandson is. They'll call the grandson and talk to the grandson on the phone, asking certain questions to get the little tidbits of voice recognition they need to be able to clone that whole conversation, and then go ahead forward with it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions for Mr. Gondak?
No, but just, I'm sorry.
Yeah. One of the categories that's increased quite a bit is theft. From 132 in 2024 and came up from 93. What's driving that? Is that retail theft that's causing that, or what is that?
I would say the majority of what we deal with is retail theft. We have certain retailers in town that have self-checkouts that we've met with and tried to explain to them our concerns with certain things, and it's been addressed, but it just hasn't, they haven't.
And how receptive are they to you and giving them some guidance on that?
They've been receptive to talking to us. I don't know if that they've taken the implementation of.
So they listen, but they may not do anything about it. I mean, because I know this is one of my pet peeves is the amount of time that the police have to spend on retail theft calls, which I think, personally, I think the businesses should be charged for our time for doing that, but that's my personal opinion. But yeah, and I just don't see that decreasing at all. I think that's going to continue to go up, and it pulls resources off the street.
Well, I mean,
one thing I can say with the thefts, I know the increase in there. I believe that the change we went to this NIBRS system, the National Incident Reporting System. You see the NIBRS numbers there on the left.
Information that was different.
I believe that thefts from motor vehicles now get included in that category.
Right.
And if we had one instance where we had several.
And that's the thing with people have to keep, take the stuff out of their cars at night and lock their cars up. Or you do what they're doing now in Chicago, is the people are taking everything out of their car, everything out of their car, leaving the car unlocked so these guys can get into the car and find there's nothing there and leave it so they're not breaking the windows. That's how bad it's got into Chicago.
Mike, what I think I heard you saying too is that because of the way the new reporting system is, they're taking things, instead of maybe isolating them, they're combining the thefts. So instead of, you have this theft at 10% and this theft at 10%, now you got it at 20%. There's an increase based on the way they're reporting. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
My only comment about the theft is, I know when I go to places like Home Depot now, you just see more and more things under lock and key. Behind fences, behind guards, where you have to get it,
Yeah.
you have to get somebody who works there to open up something. So, they're identifying high items that are being stolen, and so they're trying to take some preventions. It's an inconvenience to customer, because now you have to find, somebody who's working the floor to get something opened up. But, I'm seeing it all the time now in more stores. To your comment earlier, Mayor, about, people being civil, it's no question that assaults are up. There's just less respect for individuals.
Decorum.
Right, life, respect for property, respect for selves, for everything, that it's not, to me, that over 4 years, we're up 52% in assaults. It just, I don't know if that's the way they're categorizing things now because of the new system, but I think an assault's always been an assault, and it's up. So I just think in our society, there's just less respect for people, and it goes beyond just respect for people's political opinions. There's just something else going on.
And since COVID, we've seen an uptick in domestic batteries and domestic violence. And we had a drop a little bit, and then it's been an uptick, and it's nationwide. It's been an uptick in domestic violence
as well,
which is assault are also domestic violence is categorized into that assault category. So you see that increase. People are cooped up, and a lot of things play into it. Mental health plays into it. The stress of just the economy and everything else that plays into it increases that.
If you think about this, it's like one of the first times I ever really kind of heard about domestic violence was in 1994 when O.J. Simpson's trial, and it's been 30 years, guys. So and it doesn't seem like getting any better, even though you're giving notification of whereabouts and you're making it known. To your point, Jerry, the numbers are going up.
Can you just give an update on the license plate cameras? What's happening there?
So the city has purchased 10 license plate cameras. We currently have 8 of them installed around town, and we're waiting on 2 more to get installed. The permits are through county. We are just waiting for the installation to begin. Hopefully within the next month or so, we'll have them installed.
And how have those worked out in other communities?
They've worked great. Our officers use them on a daily basis. Other communities use ours. We use other communities on a daily basis. We're able to obtain a lot of information off of them.
Now, is there my understanding is, from watching other communities present this, is that if there's a car that it's reported stolen and shows up in the license plate, within seconds then an alert goes out to all the squad cars, letting them know that there's a stolen car and where it is and the description, that type of thing.
Correct. We can set an alert up. So if it comes into town, it'll pop and let us know, and it'll go to all the zone phones that we have in the squads and the squad computers and let them know.
What about warrants on a particular, if a person has warrants?
There's a bunch of stuff we can set up on it.
Okay.
I believe warrants are one of the hot lists we can set.
I think this is a huge thing, because so many crimes now are committed by people with stolen vehicles, that if we can catch them coming into the city and stuff and be able to chase them out, the better off that we're gonna be. But once again, encourage people have to call 911 when they see other things that are going on. I called 911 the other day because I had a car sitting in my neighborhood the car was running for about an hour and a half, and a young man passed out in the car. So I didn't know if it was overdosing drugs, if there was an issue there and stuff. And I had the police come in and call him and check him, and they ran him out of the neighborhood and stuff. So, but people can't be afraid to call 911, because I know your team gets aggravated when they aren't called, when they should have been called. We had some issues in the last couple of years where a person didn't call, and they probably could have caught them if they did call.
That is the truth right there. It's easier for us to stop them if we get called, notified about it. So many times we'll hear that, you know, we're investigating something. Well, I didn't want to bother you guys. It's no bother
Right.
to us.
I hear that all too often. I didn't want to bother them, you know. And I
Call.
just call.
We're there to respond.
When in doubt.
Yeah.
Lou, I'm sorry, I just noticed you closed the door. We do have to keep that open for the open meetings, even though there was a noise upstairs. Yeah, I'm sorry, thank you. Yep.
Thank
Michael,
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Are you done,
Thank
Mike?
you, Mike.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Anything for Dan?
Can you, this is something I've been working with Dan on, was the AMVETS that's over by Walmart. It supposedly, and it's still tentative, has been sold to a for-profit entity. So we're still trying to find out what that means, if they're still going to be making any kind of contributions to AMVETS, or what's going on there. Because I'm concerned that they still have the truck and the 2 bins that say AMVETS all over it. Okay?
Sure.
And that they are still giving, and it's a for-profit company that bought them out. And technically you cannot deduct that off your taxes, yet they're still giving out receipts when you drop stuff off. So I'm getting a little concerned how that's being managed over there. I know we're trying to get an answer.
That's true. And to your points, you know, Eric, we've researched quite a couple things at this point. Number one, it is a private company, the one that supposedly has taken over. We have not gotten any confirmation regarding that ownership.
Okay.
The actual AMVETS and Walmart have some type of agreement that is beyond our control. The use is currently still a donation center.
Mm-hmm.
While their use is still in play, they have not violated any of the zoning. The key questions are, does Walmart know of the corporation change? I've tried exhaustively trying to contact Walmart. At one point I was on the phone for almost 1 hour. Finally got switched over, and guess what I got? A hang-up. So that's very frustrating as well. What I'm looking for is the real estate division. So I've got a couple calls with some other sources for a potential number. I have not heard anything back yet. The second thing is we did, I believe it's called, it slips my mind, Eric, what's the name of the company?
Simply Recycling.
I've contacted 2 different numbers through Simple
Yeah.
Recycling. There's been no response. The last call was a little more harsh in regards to zoning matters. Again, no information is coming back to us. Also, clearly on their website, it states that they do not give out donation slips. And again, are they operating under AMVETS or under this new recycling company? It's unknown.
Right.
But we're still currently working on it. And I'm not sure how far we're going to get on this because it is on Walmart's property. They are in conformance with the zoning laws. So we're going to be limited to what opportunities we have.
I just don't want people to think they're donating stuff that's going to help out AMVETS if AMVETS is not being helped out by this company.
And it's, you know,
And then that advertising with AMVET's name, that truck and those bins should be removed from there. They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
correct. And what this recycling company does is they'll sort the goods, in this case clothing, and they'll basically be selling it off to Goodwills, to Salvation Armies, secondhand stores. From there, anything that's not salvageable, it'll go to another part of country, and the rest of it is basically recycled as a new material of some sort.
Okay, all right, thank you. Let me know if you find out anything.
Will do.
Dan, any further information on the Plainfield Road property that we voted on last week?
Unfortunately, I was hoping to have something this evening, and I still have not received it, so I'm in limbo right now. I'm sorry, Joe, which you're talking about the demolition.
Demolition, correct, I'm sorry.
Two things on Plainfield Road, so excuse me, but the demo just due to the asbestos, EPA clearinghouse, if you want to say. It's a 10-day turnaround for them before the house can be demolished. The new goal right now is within a week and a half. Again, this is all EPA requirements that was unknown to me. Obviously, last city council, I said it was scheduled for next morning, which it was, and then I got a call from the asbestos guy that there has to be a 10-day turnaround time after filing. So they filed right away. It's still in the works.
Thank you, sir.
Based on the age of that building, there will be asbestos in there. Is
Correct,
there
and we
some type
did-
of abatement that
Yes, there is abatement. It's a limited abatement, and the way the law reads is if we were remodeling it, it's, I believe it's under 160 square feet of asbestos is considered de minimis. And you can rectify it on your own. If you are demoing it, which we are, in that case, all demos need to be reported back to the EPA along with the asbestos and so on and so forth. It's a protocol. I'll call it a 10-day cooling period per se after the filing and they receive it. So that's the snafu right now on it.
is there something they could find that would cause this to be delayed further?
No. I mean, we did complete the asbestos report prior to the bid and put that into the bid as part of the the awarded vendors reconciliation, if you want to say, abatement processes.
Anything else for Dan?
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to move on to our treasurer's report. Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. We are asking approval of warrant number 24-25-12. It's a fund expenditure and general fund and water fund payroll for the total to be approved by the city council of $1,113,846.61.
Motion to approve. Alderwoman Sullivan, seconded by Alderman Kenny. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Warrant's been approved. Takes us to standing committee reports. Does the chairman have anything they want to offer tonight? Alderman Belzak.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Municipal Services Committee will take place next Monday, October the 28th at 6 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you. Alderman Kenny?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our police committee meeting was canceled this evening due to lack of agenda items and their chief being out of town. Our next one will be held on Monday, November 18th, 2024 at 6 p.m. across the parking lot in the police training room, pending agenda items.
Barry?
The next Administrative Finance Committee is scheduled for Monday, November 4th at 6 p.m. in the conference room on the first floor of City Hall.
And our Darien Action Committee will be meeting on Saturday, November 2nd at the Indian Prairie Library from 10 to 12 noon. All right, that takes us to questions and comments, agenda related. Anyone in the audience have any questions regarding any of the items on our agenda? If none, we move on to old business. There being none, we move to consent. Nothing is on our consent agenda. Takes us to new business. Item A, consideration of a motion to approve the tax levy determination for general and special purposes for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Motion to approve. Alderman Belzak, seconded by Alderman Shower. Any comments?
Should I give an overview,
Yeah.
Mayor? Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just a brief overview of the motion tonight. It is called the tax levy determination, and this is the season now, it precedes our budget season, but it's the tax levy where municipalities, school districts, all the public entities on your tax bill make a determination on the amount of revenue they would be needing to collect on the property tax rolls, which is actually be paid to us in next year in '25, but we have to make, the council has to make that determination now and approve what is called the tax levy determination. Based on tonight's meeting and approval by the council, we would move forward to the second meeting in November, where there would be an actual ordinance that would actually approve the tax levy. That ordinance would be recorded with DuPage County, and along with all the other ordinances, again, on the tax rolls. And there would, the county does a mathematical formula based on everybody's assessed valuation and based on the amount everybody has asked for. And eventually that equates into the tax bill that you receive later in '25. This year's a little different for the city. The tax levy determination, or actually the tax levy for next year, really is going all towards our police pension fund. There are some entities that might have 2 or 3 or 4 different tax levy items or line items that they ask for. It could be building, it could be liability insurance. And the city now is to the point where 100% of the property tax levy, excluding the special service area that we'll talk about next, but 100% is going towards the police pension fund and our requirements. Last meeting, the consultant was here. He made a presentation to the city council and to the public about the actuarial valuation that is needed in order to fund the police pension based on a schedule over the next number of years, and we do that every year. So this particular tax levy year, I've recommended to the city council that they put that full levy amount onto the the levy amount onto the full police pension, and that would result in the city's first tax levy increase for in a number of years, since I think going back to 2009. As most of you know, the city's percent on the tax roll is about 3 to 4%, depending on which district you're in. So it's really a small part of the tax bill itself. If the city council follows the recommendation tonight, the impact on a property owner who has a fair market value of about, I think it was $450,000, I used about $465,000, that would impact their particular property tax bill by about $60 for the entire year. So based on that, we would meet our police pension fund obligation. Again, this is the first part. What would happen after the city council has this meeting and actually has the ordinance, the city has until the end of March to make tax abatements. So whatever you're approving tonight and subsequently out in 30 days, the city can then abate some of that, which it's a better for the city council, because the way the property tax levy works now, you're having to abate taxes for a budget that you have not seen yet, have not contemplated. So the city, as long as I have been here, have had abatements on every year, and those have typically been in the water fund because our water revenue has been sufficient and those bonds are abated. So again, if the city council approves the determination for tonight and then subsequently in a month, we will file that with the county as part of the tax levy law, and then we would ask the council to discuss that again during the budget cycle. I'm not sure if there would be any abatements, but again, it'll give the council an opportunity to look at the budget in its totality to then determine ultimately if there should be any abatements to the tax levy.
Because if we voted no on this tonight, it didn't pass, and then come spring or going down for budget, we couldn't abate anything because we have to have this in place currently.
Well, you have to have, whether or not, even if for many years when the city council had a 0 property tax increase on the city's rolls, you still have to pass the ordinance.
Right.
The issue is, what is the amount? So if the city council revised this or changed it, there would be some determination passed tonight or at a subsequent meeting.
Okay.
But again, the tax levy law works if you are going to ask for an increase greater than 5%. It was in the pack. There's a special black border ad. It changes the timing a little bit. But if you're not doing that, it's just a matter of approving something, even if it was equal to last year, and then moving forward with that. But yeah, you would not. I mean, you can always abate anything. If the city got a grant for $10 million and wanted to abate next year, you can abate the whole property tax levy. But it's obviously not financially sound to do that, as the pension study has been eating away at our tax levy just a bit now. So last year, the tax levy was not enough to fund the entire police pension, and we took that out of general revenue. With this, it would again, it would take care of the entire recommended contribution.
Okay. Mary?
We talked about this at length in the Administrative Finance Committee meeting of last. And we also, because we had an opportunity to review the actuary report on the police pension, along with meeting with the auditor on our audit prior to the auditor coming to City Council last meeting. So we did have a lot of discussion, and Ted Schauer and Jerry Legansky and I, decided that we do believe it's time to do an increase. And if, once things are crystal clear, or maybe clearer, nothing's ever crystal clear when it comes to budgeting, in the spring, we can back away from it. But if we don't do it now, there's no way to do it later.
That's what I was trying to come up.
Yeah,
You did better, thank you.
Yeah, so doing it now just ensures that it's in place, but we can back down from it, we just can't ramp up to it. And the reality is that the police pension has increased significantly over the years and is going to continue to ramp up even more. And, in order to not take away from other services the city provides, I think it's time that we do this. No one wants to pass this on to our taxpayers, but we've been fortunate not to have to do that for a very long time. But if it looks like once the budget preparation is well underway and we're in our budget hearings in the early part of the spring that we can not do this, then, we'll definitely revisit it.
I want people to know that this is not a situation that's just facing Darien. Every community is facing a ramp up on the police pension fund. Right now, our money is invested in IMRF. It's down in Springfield. There's a pension board that takes care of the firemen. There's a pension board that takes care of the police. And we're dependent on their investment decisions, which have been sound in the past. But the problem is every one of us, every municipality is seeing an increase in that ramp. And this is till 2040. And there are municipalities that have reached this point before us, where they've used various techniques to get that money. Unbelievable the costs that municipalities are facing. And the thing to understand is this. I have argued for the local government distributed fund for years. And I have told people, get mad about it and call your state legislators. This last year, the state gave us a zero increase on the LGDF. We lost $14 million between 2011 and 2023 in LGDF money. And I sit here and I tell people, get mad, call this person, call that person. People don't do that. That's money that would go towards police pension. That's money that would keep us and help us avoid having to raise the levy. And I've been on this council since 1997. This is only the second time in 27 years we've raised the levy. And I think we're raising it for a good reason. We want to ensure our police pension. We want to make sure that they have that pension. So I supported this. The committee endorsed it. And now tonight we're asking you guys to approve it.
Yeah, it's going to go back to what I said before when what's the auditor's name? Actuary. What's Jason? Yeah.
Jason.
We always have the same argument every year, and I always bring up the same points. The fact of the matter is, our pension is continually outgrowing inflation. It's normally like 4 or 5 times, and it's one of those things that the state of Illinois has continued to move the goalposts of where we need to be at.
The point is that we're gonna be at $3 million. When I started on the city council in 2009, it was at 900,000. It's gonna continue to go up. It's gonna be a huge, not only for the city of Darien, but for pretty much every municipality. It's gonna be a huge line, on their budget. And all we can do as good stewards of this city is to make sure we continue to fund it at 100%. Hopefully, the state will eventually get to the right numbers where they need to be at, and then by that time, we'll figure out where we need to be at to get to 100%. Because the reality it is, 10 years ago, I think we were at 61%, and with everything changing, now we're at 58% funded. So the point is, it's gotta be done. We have to do it and move forward, so.
Anything else? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in, the roll?
Belzak.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Legansky. Stompanato.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Motion's been approved. Next item is consideration of a motion to approve the tax levy determination for general special purposes and the special service area number 1 for fiscal year 24-25. This is the Terra Hill area. Motion to approve. Alderman Bozak, second by Alderwoman Sullivan. Any question, any discussion?
Mayor, just to clarify, this is what is referred to as a special service area. It's the property tax that really is attributable to only a small section of the community, primarily Terra Hill. This was put into place when the subdivision was constructed, and the money goes towards really managing the stormwater and wetlands in that area. And again, it's been $5,000 a year since I came here.
Right.
And again, that's something we look at every year in the budget. Dan manages that program through our consultants. And if there's a surplus in any particular year, we can also look at that during the budget.
Great, yeah, and there's several areas, like wetland areas within the community, within the two sides of the subdivision, so.
Anything else? If not, the roll.
Belzak.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Motion's been approved. Item C, consideration of a motion authorizing city staff to prepare a text amendment to Title II, Boards and Commissions, and Title V, Zoning Regulations, to reduce the size of the Planning and Zoning Commission from 9 members to 7 members, and text amendments to Title II, Boards and Commissions, to eliminate the Economic Development Committee. Motion to approve. Alderman Shower, second by Alderman Kenny. Any questions or comments? None, then the roll.
Shower.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
Gustafson.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Motion's been approved. It takes us to questions and comments and announcements of a general nature. Does anybody from the audience have anything that they would like to address the council on? And then would any council member like to address? Mary?
I just would like to echo what Bonnie Casera said at the end of the swearing in of the Citizen of the Year Committee. It's critical that the community step up and nominate people and get names on the docket for the Citizen of the Year Committee to review, because they don't seek out people. People have to be nominated to them. And we have so many amazing citizens in Darien. You need to live in Darien, so you need to be a Darien resident to be eligible. But also, I encourage you, if you feel like there's a outstanding person, get other people, whether it's other people that they volunteer with or a cross-section, because so many of our amazing citizens are involved in multiple organizations. And elected officials can't be a part of that, but there's very few individuals that wouldn't be eligible. But it's an amazing tradition, and the committee works very hard to review and make the selection. And now that we also celebrate other citizens from our service organizations, their person of the year or their member of the year at the gathering, which will be February 28th. It's a really amazing night and party, and it really highlights the organizations and our community, because we are very much rooted in our service-based organizations. So remember, applications open up November 1st, and put your thinking caps on.
Anybody else? Tom?
I'd just like to remind people watching at home that on October 31st, the Darien Lions Club will be sponsoring its annual October party for the children in the neighborhood. It's a great event. It's no cost to anyone who chooses to attend. It's ice skating, games, candy, and it's a nice event.
6 to 8.
Yeah, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At the Sportsplex,
At the Sportsplex.
Anyone else? I'd like to say thank you to the Darien Rotary for the recycling event. They ran this last weekend here out in the parking lot. You had 175 cars that came and brought shredding material, bicycles, old medicine bottles. The Lions Club collected cell phones, eyeglasses, as well as ink cartridges. So many thanks to them for that. And I wanted to thank the Chamber of Commerce for a well-run casino night on Friday, and the money from that went to Cancer Smashers. So a very worthy cause. And that's all I have. Motion to adjourn. Alderman Kennedy, seconded by Alderman Shower. All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Darien, I got a question for you.